friends, and welcome back to Booked with Juby. If you love traveling and reading, then you know the struggle of traveling with physical books. Today, I'm sharing 5 tips for traveling with physical books. Let's dive in. Okay, friends, so traveling with books. Now, I know, the Kindle girlies, you're going to say, Kindle, Kindle, Kindle. It's just not for me. I love physical books. And if you're like me and you want to travel with physical books, then we got to figure out the best way to do it that makes sense without struggling to carry them around or overpacking or packing the wrong ones or packing ones that, you're worried about getting ruined. So I do have 5 tips that will help with all of these problems. Tip number 1, choose lightweight editions. Hardcovers are gorgeous, but when you're traveling, paperbacks are your best friend. They're lighter, easier to pack, and you won't cry if you get them a little bent or moved or whatever, versus our beautiful hardcover that I'm not ruining that desk cover. Like, it's coming off and I don't want to ruin it because, look at her. She's gorgeous. So when I'm traveling, I always pick lightweight books that aren't going to cause me as much pain if they get ruined. Tip number 2, limit yourself. You have to be ruthless. When you're packing your bag, you do not need 10 books, okay? Let's be real, your trip is probably a week, 2 weeks max. We're not reading 10 books. So let's be ruthless and let's pick books that actually make sense for our trip. So for my trip, I have a trip coming up. I'm going to Egypt. I know that I'm going to have a significant time in the plane. So I am going to pack a little bit heavier just because I have plane time to read, but I'm going to be doing tons of excursions and tons of vacation stuff. So I don't actually know how much time when I'm in Egypt I'm going to have to read other than on the plane. So that being said, I'm going to pick 3 books as my main books and a 4th as an extra just in case. Sometimes you're feeling really excited about the fact that you are like, oh, I'm going on vacation, I can read. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to be way too busy to actually read as much as you want to, unless you're going to a tropical island where all you're doing is sitting on the beach reading. Then in that case, pack 10 books. But in most cases, you're going to want to just pack a little lighter and you'll be happy you did, because you won't be lugging around 10 books when you could have been lugging around 4 or 3. Tip number 3, protect them properly. Treat your books like the treasures they are. Slip them into padded sleeves or wrap them in clothes inside your suitcase to keep them from being bent or getting any mysterious spills. I ordered this one on Amazon. It fits a couple books. It also depends on the size of the book, but it's got a nice little padding. It's waterproof in there. It's got a nice little zipper, and it fits perfectly inside my carry-on. For any other books that I have traveling, I'll put them in my suitcase, and I usually have a sweater or 2 or some sweatpants or whatever, and I'll take my sweater and I'll wrap the book in the sweater, and I'll usually do a little bit nicer job, but basically you use the sweater as protection if you're crazy like me and don't want the books to get ruined. I also do this just because you never know what's going to explode in your bag on a flight, and honestly, I'd rather be safe than sorry than have wet, soggy pages. Tip number 4, plan for reading time. Think about when you'll realistically have time to read. Long flights, perfect. Busy tour days, maybe not. So choose books based on the kind of trip you're taking. You're taking a beach trip where you plan on sipping pina coladas and laying in a beach lounger all day. Absolutely bring more books if you like, if you have the time. I'm going to Egypt, so I'm going to have a very long flight. So yes, I'll have lots of time then, but I'm also going to be doing tons and tons of excursions and lots of tours. So I'm not really going to have time to read during the day, and I don't know how tired I'm going to be at night to really want to sit down and get into a book. So that being said, I picked books that were, 1, easy reads. So nothing that is like a fantasy that I really need to like know all the characters' names and build the world. I picked things that were like cute, didn't need a lot of brain power, and I only picked 4 books. I also picked 4 books that were much lighter and smaller. So all of these books are under 400 pages each, just because, again, I am going to have time in the plane, but I also going to need to sleep at some time, and I'm also going to be doing lots of excursions, so I'm not going to necessarily have time and want to lug around a ton of heavy books with me during that trip. Now, just a little pro bonus tip for your planned reading time: get yourself a reading light. I know on the plane they got those lights and stuff, but sometimes those lights are bothersome or they don't really hit the page nice. I will link this one in my description of the video. This is an awesome alternative for a book lamp. It's really nice because you can bend it into whatever way you want. It has multiple different settings, and this is not an ad, guys. I just really like this. You can change the type of light it is. So there's like 3 different options, how bright you want it, etc. And it also is a rechargeable one, so you don't have to rely on batteries. And this one uses the exact same one as my iPhone, a Type-C charger. So I'm not bringing multiple chargers. I got one charger that can charge everything that I need. Number 5. Share with friends or family. Are you traveling with your friends or your family? Coordinate your book choices. You can swap books halfway through the trip, and it keeps your options fresh without having to overpack books. So I picked a couple books here that I know that my mom would love because I'm traveling with her to Egypt. So at least these 2 books for sure she's going to be into. And I know most of her books that she reads I'm super into. So if I do end up finishing all these for whatever reason, great, I got some extra choices and so does she. So it's always a nice thing to do to like coordinate and not bring the same books, so that way you're packing less and you can bring more that way. I hope you've enjoyed my 5 tips for traveling with books. If you are interested, I am going to be doing a little mini vlog about my traveling with books when I go on this trip to Egypt, so stay tuned. That'll be out at the end of May because I'm traveling at the beginning of May. But other than that, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications so you get all notifications for any other videos I release. You can find me here on YouTube, Booked with Juby, or Instagram, Booked with Juby. Love you all and travel safe. Bye.